social media, to start with, was a fake news. It was a fake concept and a big error in our develop in our media space in general. This is one thing. News feed is also wrong, because news implies for you to be exposed to different point of views to form an informed opinion, and also means the meaning of a news feed. A news mean that a particular information is being checked from at least two different independent sources, but if not three. So the cat of my neighbor, or a prank, or an ad, those are not news. So the news feed concept is wrong from the beginning. Nobody noticed. At some point, Zuckerberg admitted that, facing also regulation in our space in European Union, and he said, okay, it's not a news feed anymore. It's just feed. But nobody knows that. Everybody's calling the news feed. So my point is, the concept of truth became a tradable commodity in social media. The social media algorithm is not designed for our accurate information. The social media algorithm is designed from the beginning for e-commerce. So you have to reach the maximum audience possible with the lowest investment possible. And the algorithm will keep show you the same products until you will say, okay, I don't want to see that anymore, or I will buy this thing. Okay, the problem we have as humanity, and we face now this situation in my country, Romania, is that we cannot rely on something that was designed for a different purpose in order for us to be informed and to vote accordingly. And we can see that in Romania last weekend, we had an electorate candidate that nobody knows about. It was a marginal candidate among others with less than 5% that was pushed through algorithmization and maybe some other external, internal interventions, is not clear yet. And he just won the presidency. He didn't want yet the presidency. The second round is Sunday, but he's credited with the first chance to also won the election. The fact that this guy it's a Nazi, so basically he is a fan of a movement that in Romania was called during the World War II Iron Guard, and the fact that the guy is very well seen in Moscow, and basically seems that he is a favorite for Putin also. Became like a surprise for everybody. Nobody knew him again, and yeah, it's a world first as far as we know. And yeah, we are facing the consequences of the all the things I've just said before.
So would you say social media, or let's even say TikTok, is the influential party, or it is just a convenient scapegoat to blame when elites don't like the results that they see?
If we think that we can work as societies with less than 5% public interest news being consumed, I think we are all crazy. It's impossible. Okay, what we need to do is to readjust the portion of public interest news. But public interest news is not compatible with the algorithmic needs for big numbers in order to offer to the e-commerce clients that are the main players of those platforms what they want. So again, we are in a very wrong setup and against our interest as democratic societies. If we are keep insisting in utilizing a wrong tool for the wrong purpose. Okay, and it is how it is. We need to understand, we need to change that, and we need to act to protect our democracies, because otherwise it will not be possible anymore.
Do you see this phenomenon as a global phenomenon, or it is more targeting the Western, regions.
We are basically seeing now that fiction is winning over reality. Okay, so basically, people are more into believing those fictional stories that actual reality. So life cannot be based on votes that are being given only for that. So yes, we are seeing that everywhere in the world. We are seeing
Mm,
that even in the States. You saw how efficient was the strategy of utilizing a fake news that was assumed as being a fake news with Haitians
yeah.
eating pets of the residents. Basically, I'm sure that Mr. Trump is not that stupid to really believe that that was the case, but only the fact that he uses that technique of attracting attention utilizing fake news, a spectacular fake news, helped him in the elections because even if everybody understood in the end that this was a fake news, everybody understood the situation in that specific community, even without this detail of not being true, the fact that people are eating their pets, you know. So
Mm,
all the world understood that there is a big problem in that particular city, and the problem is legit. You cannot have more immigrants than residents in this particular city. It's true, it's a legit theme of the debate. But if only a decent affirmation regarding this was the part of a conversation, I'm sure that the impact of the news was uh, it was different, you know. So it's
yeah.
a technique that
Mm,
helps to attract to a specific topic. But in my humble opinion, is not healthy for the world to consider this as being an ethical practice. Okay, basically to use fiction in order to obtain political
mm,
advantage. So what happened in Romania is the following: people decided to choose their candidate for the presidential election, like choosing the most watched film on Netflix. They left to others the responsibility to decide who's best.
mm.
They were flooded by fake news. They were flooded by clickbait. They were flooded by propaganda because also a huge amount of money was invested by the political parties here to inform their citizens about the elections, but they didn't use the money in an ethical way. They used the money to spread misinformation about their opponents. And what was the effect? The effect was that most of the people said, okay, look, I don't give a shit anymore on those news. I don't want to read those because all the news about political parties are paid. So they just decided to who to vote with 3 days or 4 days before the elections based on what they saw on TikTok, based on what they saw on Instagram. And those friends from Instagram and TikTok, the same, they were misinformed and they said, okay, look, this guy looks like a president, you know, he talks like a president. He's very convincing. He's talking with a different tone of voice. He looks like a messiah that is coming with very exotic ideas that how we can transform Romania in 2 years in a paradise in Europe and so on and so forth. People, they want to believe in stories. So people voted for him and they will vote for him, and I will not be surprised if he's gonna win Sunday because they like to dream a little bit.
Okay, so finally, what can the major stakeholders, like the state institutions and other countries, what can they do to look at this algorithmic manipulation and how can they get it done? Because already the European Union has called Zuckerberg, Meta, has called all these other people, had conversations, but the problem still persists. So what can really be done to end this kind of drive that we are seeing?
I think the only solution in time is to have a public pressure both on governments and on big tech platforms. I don't see any other solution as we speak because we are living in a free world where everybody is free to exploit for business with any legal means. We have still companies that are exploiting other needs. Another discussion that I think is very important for the humanity and for the global stage to understand is that social media is a business model that is exploiting a dependency, our dependency for dopamine and our dependency to be validated by others. Okay, so in this, if we put this light on social media, we will understand that okay, we have other industries. Tobacco is doing the same. Sugar-based food, they are doing the same. Gambling, they are doing the same. Okay, but nobody from a gambling company will say, "Look, we are good for the world. Good, look,
Mm.
we are doing a great business." The social media platforms are utilizing this bullshit. They are saying, "We are connecting people. We are helping small business." It's true. They are very good for small businesses, but they are very bad for our information. So one thing is one thing, the other thing is other thing. So the things are different. It's not like black and white. Okay,
Mm.
there are nuances. So we need to understand that those industries are all the industries that we discovered in time that are harmful, tobacco, sugar-based, gambling, they are specially regulated. So the only option is also to regulate those platforms and to have a more honest dialogue, because the dialogue that is being held with the big tech players is very hypocritical. Okay, so they are saying, "Oh no, we are innocent, we are good people, we want to do that and that and that." On the other hand, we have the politicians that they are also in need for social media platforms because they are also clients, and for them it's more convenient to utilize social media instead of dialoguing with the journalists that can ask very silly questions. It's more easy for them just to communicate with the audience and to just push a button and reach
Yeah.
millions of people. So they are aligned as interests. So the governments, the politicians, and social media, they are aligned. So only the public pressure can change something, and also to find politicians that are also honest and they want to make good in the world, because we have politicians that they also want to do good in the world, not only to uh, uh, make some money, or I know,
Thank you
feeling
very
important
much.
that they are occupying different positions.
Thank you very
You are
much,
welcome.
Dragosh.